We're recording now. We're live.
Alrighty, it is 5:02. I'm going to begin the meeting. We're going to begin with attendance. I'm going to start here from my right to go into my left.
Hi, Childress, present.
Patrick Severo, present.
Emma Fox, present.
Paris Holt, present.
Faye Berry, present.
Rowan East, present.
Matthew Rathbun, present.
Steffi Calero, present.
And then I will see anyone who's present online.
William Coates, present.
And is there Irvi? Okay.
I want to note for the record that it seems as though Irvi is online and having technical difficulties.
All right. Okay, yeah. We'll just continue on. I want to see if there's any volunteers for reading of the mission statement. Faye?
To support the evolving needs of MSU Denver students by advocating in their best interests to enhance the university experience and opportunities.
Thank you so much. Alrighty, now we're going to move forward to approval of the agenda. So if everyone can take a quick glance at this, see if there's anything, everything's working all right, if there's any adjustments we need to be made. I see a hand up, Sky.
Hi, yeah. I have had some information come to me since the agenda closed, and I have a couple motions to add things. I'll start with my first one. I motion to add the discussion on the KPMG study to the agenda as new business item C.
Second.
Alrighty. Okay, motion to approve this agenda with the adjustment onto the agenda. Is there any objections? Any abstentions? Alrighty, motion passes, agenda is approved. Now we can move forward to approving the previous meeting minutes. Sky?
Yeah, just a quick point of order is that we just approved an addition to the agenda, not the agenda as a whole, and also I have another motion. I motion that we add a discussion on the JSSB lawn to the agenda as item D under new business.
Okay,
Second.
alrighty. Any opposition?
What is the discussion about for the lawn?
I've been told within the last 24 hours that MSU Denver Facilities has closed the JSSB lawn to student organizations from now until April. I just wanted to have a discussion on that, possibly get an update from our advisors on it, and discuss as TSAC any next steps we might want to take to advocate for our student organizations.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any other questions? Or any other amendments to it? Okay,
Did we approve that one?
not yet. We're about to right now. Is there any opposition? Any abstentions? Alrighty, motion passes to approve the adjustment to the agenda on that one. We have a motion to approve the agenda as is.
I motion to approve the agenda.
Ready? Is there a second to the motion?
I second.
Awesome. Okay, is there any opposition? Any abstentions? All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, can we take a look at the previous meeting minutes to approve that as well? Okay, we're looking here at the general meeting minutes of Thursday, October 9th, 2025.
Just really quickly for the record, I want to note that Maria Garcia and Susana Villa Gomez have walked in.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If anyone can take a glance at that at least for a couple minutes, make sure there's any differences or anything that we need to add. We have a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes. Okay.
I just noticed that under approval of agenda and previous meeting minutes, it still says motion to approve by the agenda, motion to approve the agenda by name. I was just curious if we had the information of who approved or who motioned and who seconded those.
Yeah, so I went through the like video file multiple times. I cannot for the life of me figure out who said what. So if anyone can recall, I can edit that right now, but I could not figure out who.
Okay.
Does anyone remember motioning for this last meeting?
Yeah, that was last week.
Is this when we approved both the meeting minutes?
It would have been, yes.
I'm like pretty sure
Yeah.
it's me, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion. I motion that we amend the current reading of the meeting minutes from October 9th to include that Emma is the person who made the motion to approve the previous meeting minutes for the previous two meetings. Do we know who seconded it? I'm pretty sure that's correct as well. And to also record that motion was seconded by Faye.
I'll second that because I think I'm the only one who remembers.
Is there any opposition? Any abstentions? Alrighty. The adjustment adds?
And then does anyone remember who motioned to approve the actual agenda from last week? Is that the meeting minutes was a separate line? The agenda. Okay, I'll motion that we remove that section that talks about the name of the person and just replace it with the motion. The agenda was approved by SUTSAC, since we do not know. And if a member of the public wants further clarification on that, they can watch our meeting.
Seconded.
Any objections? Any abstentions? All right, motion passes. Do we have a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes with these adjustments?
I motion to approve the meeting minutes as amended.
Do we have a second?
Seconded.
All right. Any objections? Any abstentions? All right, motion passes. We're gonna move forward with our public comment, which is at 5:05. We are about a couple minutes late, 5:09. Want to make sure that we have anybody in the audience or online. If someone were to come in, we will allocate their time that has been given to them to give the public comment. For now, we will just move on forward with our announcements and updates. I want to start with our staff members.
Good afternoon, TSAC. Hopefully you all are having a wonderful week. I have 5 updates for you. First is the dinner with President Davidson, which is scheduled for October 30th, is on. Therefore, we will be heading to a restaurant somewhere on Larimer Square that you all will have an opportunity to decide where we're going to go. Armando will be posting a poll in Teams. He had a very busy day today, but hopefully by tomorrow, so that way you all can share what restaurant you all want to vote on to go to with President Davidson. So again, that dinner is Thursday, October 30th. Therefore, at some point, because it's on, you all are going to have to decide, discuss canceling the meeting if that's what you so choose to do. Another thing coming up, Mike Ramsey, who does a lot of external relations for the university, is hosting a student leader community cabinet. Community cabinet is a bunch of different business leaders in the community that work directly with MSU Denver. And what they do is they make recommendations, they hear about different programs, and it's also a way to get the larger community of Denver involved with MSU. So that said, they are hosting a community cabinet meeting specifically for student leaders on November 13th at 11:45 a.m. And it says the location is at the athletic center. I am confirming whether or not that's at the Auraria PE Event Center or that's at the actual athletic fields. So again, that date is November 13th, 11:45 to 1 p.m. It is open to student leaders. So specifically for TSAC, I would encourage you all to attend. It's a great opportunity to network with different community leaders, as well as share what TSAC is doing and really see what kind of support you can have and receive from the community. Another update is I've been in touch with Miriam. She is the one individual who came to a TSAC meeting. She emailed me and she is very interested in the PR committee. So PR friends, you might have a volunteer to work with you all, which is very exciting. And I think she wants to very much volunteer for the LinkedIn event to help out either set up or anything like that. So I will send you both her email so that way you can just respond to that. You're welcome. And then the last thing I will say before I get into my final announcement is I had a student, or there was a student that came by CMEI today, or yesterday rather. They dropped in and they were looking to get information on you all, TSAC. So I was able to give them information. I have their name and everything in my office, so I apologize I don't have that. But they were definitely sharing with me that they don't really see you all out and about, and would like to make a recommendation that you all get out and about a little bit. He didn't really explain what that meant. I'm assuming he wants to see you outside of your office. But that's all he said. And I invited him to a meeting, mentioned that there's public, and he said that he couldn't make this time frame. But I wanted to share that with you all. Finally, and I'm doing this because it is recorded, Armando successfully passed his PhD and is officially a doctor today. So Armando, I know you're not here. Hopefully you're enjoying this new accomplishment for you. And on behalf of TSAC, we love you and congratulations. Such a large accomplishment. And with that, I yield to Dr. Barone.
Thank you so much,
Hi.
Stephen. Dr. Brown?
Yeah, I mean, Stephen covered a lot there. Thank you, Stephen, so much for celebrating Armando. It's huge, huge accomplishment. And Stephen and I were there to hear his defense, and he did a really great job. So maybe he can fill you all in if you're interested in pursuing your doctorates. I wanted to just share a invitation. You all should have it in your email from Ed Brown. We are celebrating our 60th anniversary, as you all know, and you all are invited to the luncheon. It's a special invitation. So if you all can please respond, it is November 4th. We are inviting a lot of campus leaders, community partners, our shared governance folks from across the campus community. So it's a really great networking opportunity for you all to also meet a lot of the people that you're probably in communication with over email or Teams chatting with in a big way. So I encourage you to participate if you can. It's Tuesday, November 4th from 11:30 to 1:30 p.m. So please join us if you can. I will definitely be there. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else at this time. Thank you.
Yeah, do we have any updates from our executive assistant?
Yeah. Oh, God. So, a couple of things. Firstly, just a reminder, please clean up after yourselves. We're all adults. Please keep the office clean. Throw your trash away. Don't leave food in the fridge for millenniums. Also, we have to take out our own trash. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but the little tiny trash cans, we take those out. So I think I take them out, but I will double check. I just want to let you guys know that we do have that responsibility. Couple other things specifically for Halloween. If we are going to do Halloween, I am begging you all, please let me know what is going on because I have to get those resources ordered and whatnot and fill out the form. And we are on a bit of a time constraint. We're like a week-ish away. So please, if we are going to do Halloween, get those requests into me. But that is it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Keegan. We're gonna move forward with our standing committees. I'm gonna begin with on what's on our back of our page here. Gonna go start with our budget committee, but seeing as everybody's here as vice chair. Currently, as our budget stands, we have been doing Irby and I have been on our own time reviewing our budget as is the guidelines, making sure that we're crossing T's, dotting the I's, on making sure like that we are what the changes we're going to be implementing within the budget committee, because there's certain clarifications that we need to make within the guidelines. And that's just something we've been working on our own as well. And I'm definitely going to collaborate with other counselors in the future. Just want to make sure for all standing committee members who are present to please make sure if there's any purchases such as within the office budget or that be or the PR sustainability, whether regard, just please make sure to report that through that template that Irby sent out through the group chat. So just report that. That way we can have that factor into our spreadsheet and have that currently updated. Other than that, have no other updates as far as budget. I'm going to move forward with our sustainability chair, Sky Childress.
Absolutely. Super minimal update from sustainability. We did not meet this previous week. We are still working on the Know Your Rights training that is happening in November. As I've told you all, that it's been postponed. More updates to come.
Okay. I also have Irby, who also has something to add online.
Hi, TSAC. Good evening, everyone. For the budget update, we're having Thursday recurring meetings from 3:30 to 4:45 p.m. in Tivoli 307 or virtually for all the student organization to have their presentation so that we can review any request funding forms that come in. And also, can Keegan please pull up the spreadsheet and can we just look at the current funds that we have and how much is the remaining?
I see Sky has her hand up.
Yeah, I just have a discussion point while we're waiting on this. I cannot make that time for the budget committee meeting. I believe I'm the only member of the budget committee that could not make that time. I wanted to post to the council if you all wanted another person to represent sustainability in that matter. And if so, I would imagine there would need to be a vice chair or co-chair appointed. Just an FYI, not a formal request, but something to consider.
Yeah, can you just repeat when exactly that meeting time was? I just didn't quite hear it. Sorry.
Yeah. Irby, could you repeat the meeting time, please?
It's every Thursday from 3:30 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. in Tivoli 307, or you can also join virtually.
But today it is canceled. If those who were invited to get the email, it was canceled. But I see a hand up online, Irby.
Yeah, direct response to Sky. If you cannot make to the meetings for a budget for student organizations, I recommend you to review the recordings and then vote within the council when there would be a discussion with the council, the majority of the council. I know I'm not trying to exclude you from anything, but if you want someone to appoint from your sustainability committee, so you can do that, that's also welcome.
Direct response, Guy.
Yeah, I know they've got this pulled up, so I'll be brief. But I would also post to the council and see if folks would be interested in asking the budget committee if they could hold an asynchronous vote after the meeting is ended, because I have class when they're scheduling these meetings, so that I can review that transcript and or the presentation that's submitted for student organizations, and have sustainability's voice heard in the budget committee meetings. I'd be happy to do that groundwork outside of that time frame and still cast my vote. If not, I would hope there would be some interest among the council in appointing a vice chair or co-chair of sustainability.
Thank you, Sky. And if there's any more discussion of that, I hope we can do that offline. Keegan?
Yeah, just a quick note. If you want me to pull up any specific document during the meeting, please let me know beforehand or put it on the agenda request form. It's just really difficult to take minutes while y'all are like simultaneously talking. So please, for the sake of everyone's sanity, if you want something pulled up, just let me know beforehand. Thank you.
Yeah, and last year also, I think it'll also help if we could also just send it through Teams as well. That way you can access that one directly. Irvi, if you could please begin for the presentation of the spreadsheet.
Yeah, sure. Keegan, can you please scroll down a little? Yeah, that's perfect. And then, yeah. So the remaining funds for our sustainability committee remains $8,000, which is unused. Student organization fund is $15,000, which remains unused. Public relations fund, 19,500, which has been used up to 625.63 cents. Internal office budget, 3,750, which also remains unused. If there are any office budget which has been used, so please send out the receipts in the budget folder in the receipt sections. For unallocated fund, it still remains the same. If people would decide to use this fund, so please do let me know where we have to invest in this money, or we just have to keep this unallocated as usual. Accountability committee remains $500. Elections remain $5,000. Rainy day fund 3,760.25. Student delegate program remains the no. That's all I had to give.
Okay, thank you, Irvi. Is there any questions regarding our budget current as is? Matt?
What is the 16,1836 for unallocated spent on?
They were used previously for leadership development, the ones that we did the summer training for TSAC. So some of the funds were used from it. So I deducted that money.
Alrighty. Looks like we don't have anything else to go. Move on forward. We just didn't really give their Public Relations Committee, starting with our chair, Susana Villagomez.
Hello. Let me just go back on my notes. But I did not attend PR meeting this week because of something. But going back to those minutes, we do have our LinkedIn workshop. It's coming up next Monday. So please sign up in the sign up sheet that Steffi has sent out. It is also in the OneDrive. We had some issue with the photographer, but the photographer has been confirmed, so there's no issue on that. And then our room is at 220 at the third floor. And then with the T-side council takeover, it been low-key a success because we've been seeing a lot of engagement through our Instagram page. That is what our kind of main goal is right now, just to get more engagement from students to TSAC. And then we also have decided to collab. I did mention this last meeting with the Dia de los Muertos. I think we still need to plan on it still, unless if my vice chairs have something else to say on it. But I think from my part, that is all I have.
Scott?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, I noticed we didn't send out a Resource Monday flyer this Monday. Is there a way that counselors can support in that sort of thing that KR started to do?
Yeah, I think, thank you for bringing that up. Usually I am the one that posts it, but it's kind of difficult for like, just to get all of the information and make sure it's accurate to post it because I don't want to be posting on something that's inaccurate. So if council members can like have like if they want to submit like a resource that we do have on the resource list and help us with at least some basic ideas, as you could see on his Instagram highlights, there was like a pamphlet of not a pamphlet, like a flyer of how the resource Monday does look like and how specific information. And then with that, I'll be able to add like a link that students could press on the link and go directly to the website. So I think just basic information will just help me a lot just to like edit it faster instead of going back and forth and doing all the research.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone else from PR? So good. Steffi?
I just wanted to add that when we're sending out the sign up sheets, if you're not available, if you could like write that you're not available, that would help us out a lot. So it doesn't feel like we're getting ghosted from you all. If you can just write like a simple, like, for example, Steffi, not available today. Simple as that. So we can keep track of who's really signing up for the events. Thank you.
Is there anything online? Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much. We're going to move forward with our accountability committee with Matt Rathbun.
Unfortunately, due to issues with our agenda this week and the website, we didn't actually end up having a meeting because the times were inconsistent with the time we were trying to meet. So we're going to be trying to set up another time to meet in the next week or two.
Move forward down the list as far as chairs committee. We want to see if you have any updates.
No direct updates for chairship committee other than that we are still working on our guidelines and procedures and we'll hopefully have a version to produce soon to TSAC again. Feel free to go into that document and leave comments if you'd like. And then indirect updates is there will be some interesting things coming through President's Cabinet, which we'll get back to you on very soon.
Thank you so much. Now I want to move forward with our ad hoc training and transitions committee with Matt Rathbun and Vice Chair Will Coates.
Can I start with an update on another one while Will gets settled? Because I just want to give a quick update for which one was it? The Interagency Planning Committee that me and Faye are on. They did add the 1,600 square feet of the annex back into Tivoli Reimagined. So that is now included as part of the student union aspect of the building.
Do you guys have any updates as far as the ad hoc training transitions?
Not at this moment, no.
All right. Okay, now moving forward with our advisory committees, Board of Trustees, Maria Garcia, you guys had?
I don't have any updates. They did. Oh, actually, I do. They changed the January meeting to February. They pushed that. Yeah, that's it. I also have a tri-institutional event with the Board of Trustees on Monday. But those are my only updates.
Yeah.
Tri-institutional is like the regents and like those people coming too. What can you tell us more about this event? Is it like a public event or is it like a youth?
I think it's just a meeting. Only the Board of Trustees can go. Well, we're invited. I don't know if anyone else can go, but from what I know, it was just the Board of Trustees.
Very excited.
Thank you. Move forward with SACAB.
At the moment, I don't have a specific update from SACEP.
Okay. Is there any faculty and staff senate with Faye?
I am just double checking that I'm not forgetting anything, but I have no updates as far as faculty or staff senate go.
Okay. And just for like, if you guys don't have an update, just like wave it off and then we can just move on from there. Is there university policy advisory?
I do. We met this previous Tuesday. I sent out the agenda as soon as I got it for TSEC to give me comments. I didn't get any. No worries. Okay. There's also a written version of this report that'll be in the minutes, and it's also in the SharePoint. We passed 2 policies through the Policy Advisory Council onto President's Cabinet. That's why I knew there was things coming through President's Cabinet. The social media policy that I spoke to you all last time I gave an update was passed through UPAC onto the President's Cabinet. Key takeaways from the policy is they expanded ADA compliance sections within it to update to current policy. They created a requirement that organizations within the university not endorse any personal opinion, product, private business cause, or political candidate in alignment with the free speech policy. I forget exactly what it's called. They've added some more clarified language about employees' personal social media accounts. If in their social media account it is identified they're affiliated with MSU Denver, they have certain restrictions on them. It also adds language about the use of AI, including an approval process for AI tools, required and recommended disclosure of AI-generated content, human oversight requirements, and that it cannot be used to generate manipulated media. They also, once this policy passes, all social media accounts will have to be reapproved by University of Communications and Marketing, so that directly affects social media. FYI, we should be thinking about that when this passes. We have 90 days from the date it passes. Okay, so that was passed. It'll be on the President's Cabinet. We'll have 2 reads through then to come give you updates and to have our voice heard there as well. On to the next policy that we passed is the conflict of interest and commitment policy. This passed with a vote of 67% of the council in favor, so that's 21 to 10. It used to be just called the conflict of interest policy. Now it's been updated. It's called the conflict of interest and commitment policy. Key takeaways from this policy are that they've added language to the scope to mean that it does not apply to student employees. So that's an important thing that I actually fought for and won, which is really cool. So this would not apply to student employees. They won't have any restrictions to fill out these disclosure forms. This adds a new kind of conflict that must be disclosed, conflict of commitment. This would include outside employment, consulting, or volunteer work that competes with professional responsibilities to the university or creates the perception of misuse of university resources. This change would require faculty and staff to complete periodic forms disclosing their conflicts or potential conflicts as they continue to become aware. I and others asked the University Council that was present a few questions regarding the new conflict of commitment sections. Council said that all potential conflicts must be disclosed, and failure to do so could be considered a violation. This sort of conflict of commitment sections could apply to employees with kids who have recurring time commitments outside their role, like school pickup or doctor's appointments, employees that have another job or a weekend job, and employees that have a recurring time commitment that could possibly intersect with their job duties. All of that would need to be disclosed. The main question here for this policy is, what effect does this duty to disclose have, and is that a reasonable duty or reasonable commitment to impose on your employees? That's sort of the reason why it passed 67 as opposed to much closer to 100. Last thing is that IT is still requesting help revising and drafting ITS policies. I'll be involved in 2 of them. This is not closed to only UPAC members. Anyone in the university can help work on those. A list of those is in this document that I have, and also links to our meeting minutes, and all the policies I spoke about today are in the document that is going to be on the minutes. Thank you all.
Thank you. And I just wanted to acknowledge that we just had some people from the public come into our meeting. We do have a public comment time, usually about at 5:02. Like said, we always make the exception for if anyone comes in a little bit later. Wanted to give you the chance if maybe you want to introduce yourself or you have anything you wanted to say. Just need to turn the mic on.
Okay, cool.
It happens.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Victoria, and this is Malay. We're from Rowdy's Corner. I recognize a lot of you guys because you utilize Rowdy's Corner. So we just wanted to come and speak a little bit about that, mostly just to see what support you guys can provide for us. I think it would be really beneficial because Rowdy's Corner sees so much of the MSU Denver student population, and even beyond that, just the Auraria campus population. I think it would be really helpful for some extra consideration and support and possibly funding to be considered for Rowdy's Corner so that we can become a little bit more accessible and become more of a staple point for students to have that reliable food source on campus. And just wanted to know your guys' thoughts on that, or if there is already anything kind of in the works for that.
Matt?
Thank you for coming in. I have been seeing Rowdy's Corner looking a little bare. I would also love to invite you all back again because I tried to reach out to you all last year and work with you to expand your King Soopers rewards program reach. But I wanted you guys to own that program, and there was some disconnect and that fell apart. I would love to reconnect and build that back up because I think that's a good way for you to. It may not stop your ass of like asking us for more money right now, but I think it'll help you build up more of that passive income.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. I will say our King Soopers program has been it has been helpful, but I would say it's one of the lesser contributors to our, I guess, budget. I think the biggest thing that supports us is the health center at Aurora and grants. So I think that's kind of why we're coming to you guys to possibly have that support and in that grant funding and see what we can build on from there. We have been doing our own outreach for the King Soopers program, such as connecting with different professors on campus so that they can put that information out to students as well. So yeah, we kind of came to you guys just for alternative sources beyond what we already have going on with that King Soopers program.
And we see Sky also has something.
I would really love to have a high level budget discussion with the folks that manage that over at you guys. I've reached out to your executive director and I haven't heard anything back in the last couple months. I know that a couple other folks have been in contact and may have more updated info than I do. But I imagine I would love to talk to someone who like does you guys' budgeting. It very well could be you all. But at some later date, as out of meeting and then eventually in meeting too, to sort of game plan how this could work. I imagine based on the sheer magnitude of like funds you guys end up needing to support our students throughout the year. I don't know that student fees are like a viable option for Rowdy's Corner, but it very well could be. And that's sort of our purview. But I would love to support you in seeing if we could find other sources of university funding and or other sources of grant funding. And I would need to talk to someone in you guys' budget area to do that. I do also want to note to the chair that public comment time is over. I do thank you for coming. And to open it back up, I believe that would require a motion.
They do have 5 minutes of speaking time. I've been having the timer here, hasn't passed that yet. Just like me.
We don't need to argue about that now. I just wanted to note that FYI.
I just wanted to clarify. So is there anything else? Maybe I feel like this would be a lot more of a fruitful discussion if maybe you can reach out to either say Stephen or possibly here Keegan, our executive assistant, and maybe we could either do either to do one with us or you want to do something with CMEI. Stephen definitely knows a lot more resources at hand to discuss with you, and hopefully we could see something to help you guys out because I know Rowdy's Corner is important. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Before you all check out a public comment, who's the best contact person for counselors to reach out to regarding this sort of like, you guys are requesting help. So who's the best person we should be reaching out to?
I would say Richard Machio at the health center. I don't know if you already have his email. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much. Okay. Now it's going to be returning back to our business, which is to the updates. Wanted to ask if there's going down the list here. So like I said, mentioned earlier, just if like you don't have any updates, we can just say no updates and we can just move forward. Let's see, do we have anything as far as student affairs board with Steffi Calero and Emma Fox?
We are on the 30th. Yeah, on on the 30th, we are holding our first info session for students looking to join SAB. We're trying to market that. I just want to make sure we do reach some students. I believe we're posting it on the Instagram for PR. But if you guys know anybody that's interested, you can give them my email and I'll reach out to them and send them the flyer. Or more information, but it'd just be great to get a little bit of support from the council in advertising that. And it can't be anybody else in student government, but elsewhere if you know people interested in that. Thank you.
Skip over here from University Planning and Budget Advisory with Matt. Or is that just no update?
We haven't met since last time yet.
Cool. Student travel?
No updates.
Thank you. Okay. For University Gravy, I know we are setting up for a new meeting time as is because we just had having a transition with also our vice provost. So it's just kind of changing that direction in the leadership. I know it's to be pending as far as I'm aware from the email. So we're just waiting off that. Do you have anything else to add, Scott? Si?
We were supposed to meet sometime this week with the new head of that, but I believe they rescheduled it to a pending time.
Thank you. All right, moving forward with Student Code of Conduct and Review. Maria Garcia and Sky Childress. Sky?
Yeah, we had our first meeting a little bit ago. I had to leave for the second half of that meeting, so if there's any other things I missed, Maria may fill us in. We are assigned a lot of out of meeting work though. So we are currently reviewing over about a third of the Student Code of Conduct and adding sort of comments on it. I will send out a document so you all can add comments as well, and so that we can take that input into account as we represent you in this. Just be on the lookout for that.
Thank you so much. Do we have any updates from the Period Equity Project?
Yes, I can give some updates. So we are meeting almost weekly, and we so first of all, Maggie shared with us that she got around 600 survey responses, which is great. However, it's not ideal, and we are thinking of tabling starting in two weeks to gather more surveys, and this tabling will have a Halloween theme, carnival theme, and we are planning on, let me pull my notes really fast. Yes, we are planning on tabling from Monday, October 27th until Thursday. And we are thinking of having the cotton candy machine and the popcorn machine. Maggie said that the health center is providing $500 worth for funding to get some materials, and CCD is planning on providing popcorn supplies. Maggie's ask for TSAC is support for tabling. So if anyone is interested or available to table that day, not that day, though, either those days, either times, that would be really appreciated. And yes, we will use our cotton candy machine and the supplies. And I think that's it. Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, can we get orange and black or orange and gray cotton candy?
You know what? We didn't even think about that. We were thinking of just using the purple, pink, and blue cotton candy we were using, but just because so we don't have to really buy more, we have enough. But that's a good
Just a
idea.
suggestion that's pretty cheap, but
Yeah.
if we're trying to fit in the thing, no worries.
Do you have anything to add, Matt? Anything that I missed? You were in that meeting.
This will be more of a out of meeting conversation, but I just wanted to let Steven know I will be reaching out about how we can maybe secure the popcorn machine from CMEA.
Okay. I want to see, do we have any updates from space analysis with William Coates?
No updates.
Thank you. As for our Tivoli Reimagined Steering Committee, we still have our new meeting, which is going to be on Tuesday, the 21st at 2:00. So we still, no updates from now. Exactly. It's in person, if you missed that. Okay. And we have strategic planning with Rowan East.
So far, we've been able to designate a representative from TSAC for each of the university's strategic planning working groups. Other than that, no updates.
Thank you so much, Rowan. Moving forward with our open floor, see if there's anyone who wants to have any updates. We'll give everyone a chance or have anything to discuss quickly. If not, I have one thing that I want to update. So as far as something that I've been trying to, and I think all of us are very happily to do, is to re-up the delegate program that we had last year. I've been just trying to get into, just reach out to a few of our counselors. I know I talked with Sana and Emma. Right now we're trying to set up a meeting time. Initially, I had an idea for like Tuesday, like at 3:30. I just want to do something like a little bit light so we can get to, get everything started and at least compare what we had last year and from also the one that Sky happily provided, really updated for this semester, and see what we can add there to give a finalizing document for that. So I'll definitely reach out if there's anyone that is interested. So please, don't hesitate to let me know, or maybe let me know after this meeting, and then we can start up a group chat and we can all just talk about that. That's the only open floor I have. So.
Yeah, I guess this is more of like an announcement, but the Brother to Brother program is hosting a critical discussion on race on Monday from 12 to 2 in the Tivoli Turn Hall. We have CU Boulder's DeJuan Baker as our presenter, and his theme is surrounding it's thriving, not surviving, strategies to excel in a historically white institution.
Well,
Just a quick update for the council and for anyone listening in. I know the health center right now is giving out free COVID and flu vaccines. I don't know how many students are aware of that, but I think if, just take advantage of that. If you don't have other options, healthcare options, and please definitely take care of that. It's free.
thank you so much, Will. Thank you for letting us know. We got over here for a lovely executive.
Wait, I'm so sorry. I should have done this during the employee thing. Can I take a selfie with you guys to prove I did a Connect for Success activity for my English class? To prove I was here? Is that okay with you guys? Okay, thank you.
Right now.
That'd be wonderful.
All right, for everyone who wants to take a selfie with Egan after, that'd be great. Matt?
Not opposed to the selfie at all, but this is also turned it on. I just didn't get close enough. Not opposed to selfie at all, but this is also recorded and posted publicly.
Well,
I do have something. We just received an email from Edward Brown about the. Oh, you did. Okay.
yeah, Dr. Barone.
Yeah, Dr. Barone got that one.
Yeah, Matt?
Actually, I noticed on that email, there are 3 of us that have not gotten that email. So after the meeting, I just didn't have a pen to mark it. I'm going to try and forward that to the 3 who haven't received it yet.
Also have a quick question for Dr. Brown. She answered for that. When we are RSVPing for that invitation, are we a community friend or are we faculties? Which one do we select under?
Sure. Oh, there's not student. Student isn't an option.
No.
Okay. You're not a faculty or staff. I guess a community friend. Sorry, I don't know why it's like that.
Friend to the president. Oh, yeah.
Friend to the president. Sure. I like it. Sorry,
Scott?
I don't know why student isn't an option. Y'all are VIPs, that's why.
Thank you, Dr. Burrow.
Yeah,
I also,
sorry.
I wanted to, just another announcement. Everyone should have received an email today from me on behalf of Taylor Tackett that has the meeting time for TSAC's monthly meeting with Taylor Tackett. It should be on your calendars now, but feel free to be there. Thanks.
Well,
Question for you, Sky. It says till the end of this year, pretty much. Is that every single time, or I'm just a little confused? Is he coming every single meeting, or what's that mean?
So that monthly meeting time is outside of TSAC. It's on Tuesdays, like in the morning.
Right.
So
Okay.
folks can feel free to be there. The times, I believe, are set all the way through like May, but I think they're going to reassess the times when the next semester hits in case Dean Tackett's schedule changes.
Okay. Thank you.
any more open floor announcements? Okay, moving forward with our new business, we're gonna have our Roadrunner Runaround with Faye Berry.
Yeah, let me just go there. So I had held the first meeting with some interested parties about what I'm now retitling to reducing the Roadrunner Runaround. So it's 3 Rs. We just we met on Tuesday of this week. I have the meeting's minutes pulled up if anyone wants like a more in-depth discussion of what we talked about. But I wanted to bring this before the council because we were talking about gathering student testimonials. I have my own ideas of how to do that and what we should do, but I also wanted to bring it before the council to ask if anyone had any personal experience or if anyone had any thoughts about how we want to gather those testimonials.
Yeah, I wanted to say, I know there are multiple different sections of the university that are working on this. We're working on this. Faculty, staff, Senate are working on this. I've been in conversations with enrollment management, who is also working on this. I was wondering if you know of, if there's already some like cross-departmental meetings happening regarding the Roadrunner Runaround, or if we could be a catalyst to start that coalition.
So I will say that the meeting that I held on Tuesday was with representatives from Faculty Senate, Staff Senate, and then Sam Jay was also there, who does a lot of the university's AI stuff. During the meeting, we also discussed reaching out to Taylor Tackett. I have reached out, but I haven't heard anything back. There's no set date for the next meeting to happen, but I'd be more than happy to try and bring as many people in as possible.
Thank you. I'll reach out to you soon.
So Faye, regarding that, you said are you looking for like where for our student testimonials or where we could find to reach out to other students for testimonials, correct?
Yeah, both. I have my own ideas of creating a Qualtrics and posting it in like office spaces. So I was thinking like posting one at financial aid, the bursars, the registrars, all those places that people get sent. But I also wanted to ask if anyone else had any ideas or concerns with that as a plan.
Matthew?
I would make sure to check the campus survey policy so we don't get any issues with that.
Who do you want to house this Qualtrics or this survey?
I didn't think that far. I was just more thinking of starting points and where to go from here. So I was kind of planning to be the person who takes it up. So it would probably live within TSAC. I think that also makes sense as far as it being student testimonial, but I am more than open to discussion on that point.
Okay, I mean, stuff. Emma.
Is me, okay. I would love to ask if you could ask them if they would want to partner with us on doing some of that survey. I think that would help us. And then I think that instead of just putting out a QR code and hoping for the best, I like a tabling event. I don't think people are going to talk to us. And what I know from personal research, you get way better response talking to somebody in person than hoping they fill out a survey because you're not going to be able to ask a follow-up question. So maybe just as a first step, asking faculty and staff senate, since they're already talking about it, if they would be wanting to be a part of that survey with us, because I think that would benefit us.
direct question to that. In what way are you hoping to ask faculty and staff to respond in this effort? Are you wanting them to ask other faculty and staff, or are you wanting them to help us in the survey of the broader population of the campus?
Can I respond?
Yes.
I was gonna say if they want to, I guess this is a two-part response, but firstly, yeah, if they want to help, facilitate any of that questioning or help us support us with that, especially since there is a campus, survey, policies, just making sure maybe they'd have some insight. And then I think they could also help us with questions, because asking what questions students need, because I think those will be areas they're missing as well.
And Sky has a question as well.
Yes, so I've had a meeting, a recurring like tri-weekly meeting with the associate vice president for enrollment management on my calendar for the last couple months, and we're going to continue those meetings about the Roadrunner runaround. This has been like since July. And she just told me yesterday that she is going to start working on getting a survey like this started. And so I think that's a great place for it to be housed. I think we could be a really big player in tabling for it. Also, not just collecting student data on like their experiences, but also like the people that work on the first floor of this building and experience when a student comes and they're like, I've been to 7 tables, can you help me? Having those individuals be able to give feedback back on the Roadrunner runaround too, I think would be really cool.
Matt?
I also think if you're going to include going that direction, make sure to also maybe interview anybody in the student care center, because that's usually where everybody gets sent to start.
Steven?
Faye, if I could make a recommendation, you may want to talk to HR. And the reason why I say that is because when new employees get onboarded, the onboarding process is minimal, to say the least. And I mean professional staff employees. So when I was employed, I spent maybe a half a day in this room. We did some HR things, but not once was I ever introduced to, I went and introduced myself to the folks on the first floor of JSSB, but I didn't learn certain things like how many credits does it take to graduate? What happens? What kinds of financial aid questions that come up? And so I'm telling you, as an employee here that's been here for about a year and a handful of months, I had to seek out a lot of that information, but I did that because I've worked at universities before and I understand the structures of universities. And not everyone may have that intuition to do that. So you may want to talk to HR to see what onboarding processes they have that they specifically do for new employees related to requirements for students.
You can go first. I have a unrelated.
This is just to second the HR thing. I don't know if this survey is going to be extended to student employees, but I think definitely there are also entities within student employment that do a bit of a running around. So I think that would also be very helpful, just so we can kind of get like a full picture of how big of a problem this is.
This is a kind of thinking past also specifically gathering this information, which I do think is a very crucial piece of this. But part of the reason that it was suggested to reach out to Taylor Tackett is that when he was brought on, there was a discussion about creating quote unquote red pages, thinking of the idea of yellow pages. Also, Armando had shared something with me that I can share with the rest of the council if you want to see it. But it's about a collation of who does what where as a possible solution to this. Part of the problem that I see with the sheet that I was given is one, it is very old. It is like from 2018. It has roadways on it, which has not been a thing since I was here in 2020. So it gets outdated very quickly if it's not actively updated. And also it doesn't have the actual person or the actual department to go talk to. It just says, this department does all of these things. So thinking about that as a possible solution as well for next steps in this process after we've done this initial part if anyone else if anyone has any questions, comments, concerns about that, I would also love to use some of this time to talk about that. But I do appreciate everyone's thoughts about gathering this information and would love to talk more.
Sky?
So from the people that I've talked to and from what I've heard from you, it doesn't sound like there is already like a recurring group of people that get together and talk about this outside of the like individual section. So like people from HR and people from enrollment management and faculty staff senate and TSAC. I think it'd be really cool if we were the ones to start that and get that going. Is it cool, Faye, if I get with you and we start chatting about next steps for that and then let the council know next meeting?
Sounds good.
Okay. Seeing as there's no any more discussions, I feel like if there's anything, I'll definitely ask, just as Sky's doing, maybe an offline connection with Faye. That way we can establish in there. And I'll definitely be interested to hear up and out of that. Moving forward, I'm going to be passing it off to Sky since it's going to be part of something I'm bringing up. So I'm just going to have her transition.
Hello. Okay, so thing on the agenda is nominations for vice president for enrollment and student affairs, student advisory board meeting from Patrick Cervera. I want to hand it off to Patrick to give us a reason why this is on the agenda, and then we can chat next steps from there.
Yeah, so last year I was given this opportunity. May Federico, she was the previous counselor that was on this meeting. So this was more of like an invitational to different students from Dr. Simpkins himself. However, since being as a TSAC leaders and being community leaders within ourselves, many of us are from different orgs or from different departments. This meeting with Dr. Simpkins is one where it's like two meetings, one where between us as students, with other students all around the board, from the Honor Society, from Indigenous groups, from, just about all different kinds of orgs. And then you have the opportunity to hear a lot of things from the community. A lot of things are important. I feel that things that we could either address as student council or as students ourselves. But first and foremost, it was, focused on supporting the student experience that we have here. And this year, unfortunately, I won't be able to attend these meetings as these are all on a Monday. And currently as my schedule is, I'm not really free on those days. However, I do feel it's imperative that we have a student or a representative on there to be able to speak for students. This is essentially a one-on-one with Vice President Dr. Will Simpkins. Usually he brings breakfast sometimes as well, which is really cool. And it's usually in more meeting times. So right now, as it is, the meeting schedule is coming from Monday, October 27th and 2025, which is meet and greet. And these are going to be from 9:30 to 10:45 a.m. These also, it's not only just with the student group, but also there's a meeting with just about everyone from the board. I've talked to deans from different parts of the university, from college, from the business, from letters and arts. So and for hospitality as well. Most of this is really reaching out for like retention rates as well. So you're going to be looking at a lot of different graphs, be able to learn different information, be able to see about regards about navigation, how we can help out, our advisors that we have right now. So it's really, you do have a seat and a time to really speak about what's going on, what things that affect us directly as students or as people within ourselves. I think it's very important that we have someone there. I unfortunately can't come there to this one, so I want to extend the offer to everyone here. I really encourage you, as it is a great opportunity to meet a lot of people.
Before we continue, I want to ask our advisors, either Stephen or Dr. Barone, if you have any other insight into this board. When I got these emails about this, I'm not going to lie, I thought this was just SAB. And I knew that I was ineligible, but I don't have the capacity to add SAB to my roster at the moment. And so hearing now this is not SAB and this is sort of a different thing. It's not about the fee, it's about the entirety of student affairs. Could you all give some insight into what they're likely looking from TSAC in this?
I think, and Dr. Barone can add more because she's been here longer than me, but I think it's student leader input. They will bring high level issues to the table, not to say that they're not going to student government specifically, but I think they have broad conversations, and Dr. Simpkins likes broad student input. So coming from student leaders, they may have a student athlete on the board. They may have some scholarship recipients. So the makeup of the board is very diverse in terms of involvement and who they are on campus. I'll yield to Dr. Barone if she wants to give some more insight as well.
Yeah, I would agree with everything Stephen just said. I think there's it's a much more like he said, broad and diverse representation of students from across the university who represent different constituencies. So like athletics is a good example, or student organizations, fraternity, sorority life, some of our identity-based community leaders are on there as well. So that's what they're looking for in terms of having a more broad perspective. And then they do give input on high level issues at the university, or sometimes he brings things that are going on to get feedback and input. I imagine this year there might be a lot around housing and developing what that looks like and things like that. So that's what I can offer, just to add on to what Stephen said.
Stephen?
I'll give you an example of how this could work. Let's say that we were a year or two in the past, and Dr. Simpkins brought probably the idea of what it would look like to have housing on this campus. So would there be interest? He probably used that Student Affairs Advisory Board to gain some foundational level feedback from students broadly. Is that something students would want? Is that something they would need? Another example could have been, how can we better help students in career prep? Maybe they gave some foundational level feedback for Dr. Simpkins. Then what he would do is he would go through the routes and say, I got this feedback from students for career, for having a residential experience. We as a university need to figure out what exactly we want to do with that, because students seem like they answer that. So then you think of the wonderful structures of higher ed, and then they go through all the surveys and feedback and everything, and eventually they come before TSAC and say, hey, we're going to have housing. We're going to put a tower on campus. Is that something you do? So think about this board as a foundational preliminary, hey, I'm a vice president. I don't have a lot of interaction with students. This is my way of having interaction with students. So that way I can hear firsthand the issues you are experiencing or the things you are wanting to do, or here's what's going on that you all as students, I'd love your feedback on.
Okay, wonderful. I also want to say that from reading this email, it seems as though they are not necessarily wanting a representative of any student group in particular. They're just wanting student leaders to represent themselves individually and bring their experience to the table. I believe anyone and everyone who got that email is invited. So I don't think we need to appoint someone necessarily to represent us there. More so, you can go as a student leader. I'm going to send the sign up link into our chat just now. It is due by the end of day today, FYI. I just copied it from that email. Anyway, and then I pass it off to anybody that wants to.
Yeah. So like I said, this is necessarily like a TSAC appointed one. Like I mentioned earlier, last year, Amelia Federico, she was on this one, and then she insisted to have maybe have a representation from TSAC, knowing that certain responsibilities are flipping around there. And that's how I was able to get this opportunity last year to be a board representative, a student leader representative on the board. So I just wanted, being that I'm not going to be invited here, I wasn't aware about everyone else who's got invited. And, if we have at least someone from TSAC, I feel like I'm pretty comfortable if someone's going to be able to do it. If not, I feel like it is an important place to be, as I feel like there is a lot of representation that we can do as student leaders there. So that's why I highly encourage this, especially if not really involved with too many opportunities or different meetings. It's definitely be a great experience to learn from.
Emma?
What time does this meeting occur on?
Yeah,
so list of meetings. I'm just reading the email unless you want to. Yeah, go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, so they're every Monday. So it's gonna be not every Monday. So here's I'm gonna list it off. So it's like once every month. It's gonna be next one's gonna be on Monday 27th from 9:30, and then on Monday November 17th, Monday December 8th, Monday February 9th, Monday March 9th, Monday April 13th, and then Monday May 11th. So it's not too many meetings, but this is a yearly commitment, academic year commitment.
Did you all receive this email? You did. You probably did because of something outside of GSEC. Well, I I sent the Qualtrics into our chat. However, if you didn't receive that email, I can't extend quote unquote an invitation. However, I will reach out to the person who sent me this and check and see. I imagine anyone and everyone on this council would be invited to participate in this, just not all of us. Just, I imagine some of us are invited to participate in that. And if one of our co-chairs can, then I imagine others could. Okay.
I was just going to ask when you received this email, as I was digging through my email and wasn't seeing it, but just wanted to confirm I was looking in the right time frame.
Yeah, I originally received this October 6th, and then again yesterday. The deadline for submission was the 13th, and they extended it to today. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I kind of feel like we should just appoint somebody to be on this. Just so it doesn't get tricky with like too many of us going, not enough of us going, having a representative on it. I guess I don't know.
Patrick?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's maybe we can appoint. I mean, obviously, just as Sky just mentioned, is like this is like a student leader opportunity. So like there's been like I'm not sure how many if we have anyone. Like obviously we have I think Sky and Sai have received these emails from could due to their leadership. So I want to see if there's anyone that is going to attend. I think that's a better question. Do we have anyone that will be attending that way?
I just really want to clarify. I'm going to read a section of this email. I was assuming everyone had gotten this. I apologize. Students are expected to represent themselves and their own experiences as opposed to representing a student group. That's what this email says. So I don't think TSAC needs to appoint someone because they won't be representing TSAC, if that makes sense. You're representing yourself if you're on this board. I do think the intent of the person who sent this was to send it to two people who, the co-chairs of this body. What I'm saying is that one of our co-chairs can't make it. And so if another person wants to go, I doubt there would be an objection from them, given we don't have hierarchies in our organization. So I guess I would look for interest among a maximum of 2 counselors who are not already on this board via another student leadership role, like Sai, or could be on this board.
This is like right when I have class, so, and I've already let I assume this is, chief of staff or whatever to Simpkins, but I've already let her know that I'm not available to attend, so.
I'll forward the email to everyone with the expectation that I don't have the authority to invite someone to this, but I imagine Twee would be just fine with any of us serving as long as it's, a maximum of 2 counselors coming from that position. But yes.
Stephen, are you able to comment any more on that? No.
Yeah, last year, as far as I know, it wasn't a chairship role. So that's why I was just trying to kind of do the same thing, just extend the opportunity to us, especially this is like a pretty large gathering, a lot of people of student leaders.
I guess raise your hand if you're interested in this board at all. Okay. Okay. I imagine it would be, is what I'm trying to say to you. So I forwarded it to you. I imagine it would be. We'll talk to Twee. Am I saying their name right? Okay. And then I am also interested, but I don't know if I can commit to that time frame, but I'm certainly interested in being at it, especially if it's only a monthly thing. So it looks like we have at least 2 folks that are interested in going. I imagine if they want more representation from us, they will ask again in the future. If you are interested, fill out that Qualtrics form that I said. So me and Emma will fill out that Qualtrics form by the end of day today. Thank you, TSAC. Did you have anything else for this point, Patrick? Okay, I'm going to pass it off to my lovely co-chair as we go to the next item on the agenda, KPMG study.
Okay, it's KPMG study. This is one business that Stephen added onto here, so I wanted to let him take care of that.
Sure, everyone. I received an email from Leanne, who is Leanne Bokinski. They're the chief operating officer of AHEC. And what she shared with me is that they're looking for a student focus group specifically from TSAC, so that way they can receive student information about the study they are doing. Here's a little information about the study. I guess a Colorado law, SB 25-316, because Auraria campus is funded through the state, it requires a third-party comprehensive study of the Auraria Higher Education Center, otherwise known as AHEC. The due date is December 31st, with the idea that there's probably going to be an extension to the end of January of 2026. The study scope covers all AHEC operations, governance, the services AHEC provides to students, as well as some of the support that three constituent institutions provide. So that's what they're looking for. Some examples also include baseline service level agreements, fee structures, as well as vendors that they have on campus. So because this has been required of AHEC by the state, they have hired a third party to conduct it. That's KPMG. And Rowan, please, I will defer to you if you know anything else other than that. What Leanne is asking for is if you all as TSAC would open up a portion of your meeting potentially next week. Can't be October 30th, so it'd have to be November 6th, so that way they can come in virtually and ask you a series of questions related to what they're trying to look into. That's what I know. I'm just giving this to you all so that way you can do it. I do need to provide Leanne an answer based on what you all decide, so that is strictly up to you. From an advisor standpoint, sounds like you can give some feedback about AHEC or the Auraria campus. Could be a great opportunity. But it's really your call with how you want to do that. So if you decide to do and invite them virtual, because they'll be virtual, they said that they weren't able to come on at this time. So they'll tune into the meeting. We can send them the link. If you choose not to invite them to this, I do ask that you at least provide a solution that I can share with them, or maybe another way if you all want to conduct something separately, either through, I don't want to call it an ad hoc committee, but maybe something that they all can meet with you on. With that, I yield to whoever wants to speak.
Sky?
Yeah, really quickly before I start, I want to say, point of clarification, Leanne Bokinski is the COO of MSU Denver and is not AHEC, unless I'm incorrect there. And she's just the point of contact for KPMG study. But on the actual topic at hand which is, should we invite KPMG to our meeting? I think we have SACEP representatives who deal with a lot of our AHEC operations, and I think it would be in the best interest of us to have those individuals schedule a meeting with KPMG and, report back to us in a representative capacity so that we're not taking up a large portion of our meeting. Because I know we have other things on our agendas typically, but just my opinion.
Rowan, just direct response.
Yeah, I was also going to say, I like Stephen at the end when you brought up the idea of maybe providing another solution rather than directly inviting them to a meeting of me and my other SACEP representative, Sai, maybe schedule a meeting with KPMG, and anybody on TSAC who wants to be present at that is absolutely welcome for it. But I also think that and carving out time from our meetings would not necessarily be the best solution for accommodating this because we already have so many other things that we're trying to accomplish during these meetings.
Sorry.
What was that? The person of contact. What was their name?
The Chief Operating Officer of MSU, her name is Leanne Bokinski. I believe Rowan's also already in contact if you'd like a connecting email.
Emma.
I guess I personally do think it would be kind of nice to have them come. I know SACAB already deals with them, which is like important, but only because I know a lot of us have time conflicts with meetings outside of like being right here. So if it's just one meeting, you're not going to be able to get as many voices. So if the goal is to get lots of voices, it just might be nice just to get as many people.
Okay.
It's entirely possible that there isn't an answer for us this question at this time, but I was just curious what they were expecting from us in this meeting, and like if there was any kind of discussion of what questions they would bring in or what information we would be sharing with them.
I don't have an answer to that either. I think they're just looking for student input. I think they will pose a variety of questions to you. For example, you are a student. Do you feel like the services you are receiving from the Auraria campus, to the extent that students would receive it, are suitable, appropriate, and comprehensive of everything you need? You may say, I don't really do anything with Auraria campus, so I'm just here and you take my money. Cool. Others of you may say, I'm in a club. I think the costs that we have to pay for a room are astronomical, and that's something that you all need to figure out, especially because you're already capturing some of our fees and you're double charging us. That's just an example, though.
Maria?
Yeah, I don't know if I missed this or if it was said, but was there a specific amount of time that they would take away from our meeting? Do you know?
You all can set that.
Would we be able to ask them questions or give them any feedback other than
Absolutely. Yeah, it can. And that's what the whole point of the focus group is that they would come in, they have a set of questions, and you can probably ask them or counter some of their questions or anything. They're just looking for a set group of student leaders that they know meet regularly, that they can have. They've talked about gathering just students as a whole. They haven't really had much success other than the various governances, hence why they went to SACAB for that very same reason, hence why they're coming to MSU. So TSAC.
Yeah, so I mean, I frankly I think it'd be okay, not okay, but I think if we can find a way to really prepare ourselves, or whether that be through like an ad hoc committee, or whether that be invited them to our own committee, or discussing offline with our SAB representatives, I do think it'll be a good chance to use our position to talk to AHEC. I mean, most times a lot of individuals come here or go to the office always mention, and I'm pretty sure most of us have the same sentiment towards like what's going on as far as parking fees, what's going on as far as building fees. I do feel like if we are given the opportunity to ask them questions or hold them accountable for something, I think this would be a great opportunity on our behalf to do that. Sky?
I think it'd be interesting to have a discussion with them. And the only reason I propose a representative structure for that is so that we don't take up time in our meeting. Because I know we have a lot of speakers that will likely come between now and the end of the school year. It very well could land on these meeting times. I guess I would propose, not as a motion, just as a idea, that we, instead of inviting them to a Thursday TSAC meeting, we set a meeting with them on like a Tuesday at 5, which is typically going to reflect a similar schedule for counselors as a Thursday at 5. And then more counselors could be there, i.e. more voices for their study, i.e. we get to actually reflect what we think. So I would ask if there's any thoughts on that proposal from people.
Well, accountability, we usually hold meetings at 5 on Tuesdays. So, but I mean,
Do you all meet weekly? Well, this is the one time I believe.
Yeah. Steven, did you have your hand up? Okay, I was just making sure. Was there a set date for that?
They didn't provide a date, but they are looking to have it within the next few weeks if possible.
Yeah, so I had a brief meeting with Leanne Bakinski a couple weeks ago about this. I don't really have anything to add other than what Stephen has already told you. That's all that I know about it. But they talked about wanting to sort of talk to more students just in general. And I think that setting aside another time for them to meet with us that's not during our regular Thursday meetings would be a good way to sort of accommodate that, but also understand that we have a limited amount of time during our meetings and plenty of other things that we want to get done. So I feel like that would be a good sort of middle thing to do.
Sky?
Wonderful. I will put forward a motion that we invite KPMG to a meeting on October 28th, which is a Tuesday, 2 weeks from now, from 5 to 5:45 p.m., of which all TSAC counselors could be available, but attendance would not be compelled.
Second.
I'll open the floor to discussion. Steven?
In the discussion for this, do you want me to reserve a room for this, or do you just want to host this in the TSAC office? I mean, you have a conference table, we can set up some technology. It's strictly up to you all on what you want to do.
Okay.
Now, on that point, I was going to just ask, I'm assuming though that they would still plan to attend virtually if we were to host it on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll still have to ask, but it would most likely be at that time virtual too. Yep.
Gotcha. Sky?
I have no preference if we were to do this completely and totally virtually, or if we were to use our conference room with virtual component, or try to reserve Senate chambers or some other venue. But I think we can absolutely discuss logistics of that meeting after the motion has been discussed and hopefully passed.
Yeah, it also sounds a pretty good idea especially if it's going to be something virtual. It also gives us opportunity. You don't have to be, there in present. So it might give council a bit more availability if, knowing that. Is there anything else for discussion? Okay. Do you have a motion to vote? Scott?
No motion to vote. I'm just going to reread the motion so that everyone knows what they're about to vote on. I motion to invite KPMG to a meeting on October 28th from 5 p.m. to 5:45 that all counselors would be allowed to come to, but attendance would not be compelled.
Matt?
I want to triple check with my committee because I believe we agreed on an every other week, and that would be the next other week.
I guess for me, that's I guess that's a commitment. If I'm not having the accountability meeting, I need those days to work on schoolwork. That's my only night off, so I won't be attending regardless.
Maria?
After looking at my calendar, I saw that the PR team has an event, the Sai Chai Halloween event from 5 to 8. So, or am I wrong?
No, we just forgot to update it, and yeah, we're not doing that event anymore.
Scott?
Is it the specific date that's an issue, Emma? If it was on one of your off Tuesdays from accountability, or would you still want to use that time for other things?
No, that's my only free time.
Okay.
To respond to Matt's point, would it technically not be an off, or would we technically not have a meeting that day because we didn't technically meet this week? So we would be meeting next week rather than, am I confusing? Is that confusing?
I think you're a little off because if we skip this week, next week would be our normal like week off. The following week would be our normal week on.
Okay, but, oh, okay.
I have a question maybe for the council. Would it be, if the dates is subject, like we need to make sure that everyone's available for that date. In general, would it be okay if we can have that meeting with KPMG outside of our TSAC hours? We are available all at during these meetings. So, I just wanted to see if maybe we still just want to have it an offline, or if we want to, is it just because of the date, or what's going on? Okay. Do we, Sky?
Yeah, so I I think I've put forward a motion to have the meeting at this time and day. I know there are some folks that are unavailable for that time, and if you feel that you want to be at that and you're unavailable, you could feel free to vote no or abstain. But I would love to see if we just voted on this. If it passes, that means enough counselors are willing to have it at that time, even if they themselves can't make it, and then we could coordinate from there. I made the motion. I believe it was seconded by Rowan. I'll repeat it again. Motion to invite KPMG to a meeting on October 28th from 5 p.m. to 5:45 p.m. that all counselors could come to, but that attendance would not be compelled.
Second.
Okay. Any objections? Please raise your hand. Please raise them up high. Okay. Any abstentions? Okay. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
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 Yeah.
I asked for a recorded vote so we can make sure this is recorded. When I said, sorry, I meant by roll call. I asked for a roll call. If we could just, yeah.
Let's do. All right, I'm moving forward to a roll call, so I'm going to be going off of the back of the sheet here. Cyrus Holt.
Abstain.
Faye Berry.
Nay.
Matthew Rathman.
Nay.
Rowan East.
Aye.
Steffi Calero. Abstain. Irvi Paul online.
Aye.
Cannot hear you. Can you repeat that again?
Aye.
Irvi. Okay. Emma Fox.
No.
Maria Garcia.
No.
Patrick Rivera. I abstain. Sky Say Childress.
Yes.
Susana Villagomez.
No.
William Coates.
I abstain.
Okay.
3 yes, 5 no, 4 abstentions, however you want to call that.
5, 4 abstentions.
So 3 yes, 5 no, 4 abstentions. So
That would.
you're presiding, so you would call no.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You would say fail. So
Yeah.
you would say. But
Oh.
you'd be the one that would call.
I got it. Thank you. Yeah, so we have 3 yes, 5 no's, 4 abstentions. Motion fails. Okay.
I would look to put forward a motion that we invite KPMG on November 4th, which is the following Tuesday, with the same time frame and the same language as was originally proposed for the meeting of the 28th.
We have a second. Scott?
I'll second that. Is it cool if I restate the language so everyone
Yes.
knows?
Yes.
Motion to invite KPMG to a meeting on November 4th from 5 p.m. to 5:45 p.m. that all counselors could come to, but the attendance would not be compelled.
Open the floor to discussion. Okay. All right. Matt?
What do we have coming up on our agenda that we're aware of in the next couple weeks in our meetings at this time?
I don't believe there's been much added to the agenda so far, but I imagine there would be because we usually have pretty packed agendas to the point where it's past 7. I know today's a novel day where we don't, but I don't want to commit to a date in November or possibly even next week where there may be quite a bit of business and large discussions come up for this. That's why I sort of made my original motion, and I believe Wayne Faye's made this one.
As is now, if you guys look at the agenda of requests, it's in the main group chat for SJTSAC 2025-26. Right now we have about 2 items currently going on for our meeting. So I want to see if there's any other discussion points. If not, I shall move to vote again. Okay. I'll move forward to roll call vote again. Gotcha. Thank you. Alrighty. Cyrus Holt.
Aye.
Emma Fox.
No.
Faye Berry.
Aye.
Maria Garcia.
No.
Matthew Rathbun.
No.
Patrick Cervera. Aye. Rowan East.
Aye.
Sky Say Childress.
Aye.
Steffi Calero.
No.
Susana Villagomez.
No.
Irvi Paul.
No.
William Coates.
Abstain.
Yeah.
I've in favor. 6 no's and 1 abstention.
Okay, so we have 5 in favor, 6 no's.
Can I indulge? If there are any counselors who would wish to change their vote, since it has not been called by the chair, just so everyone's aware, as recorded, 5 yeses, 6 no's, 1 abstention. The chair has not called the vote yet if there were any that wanted to change their vote. I believe that would be in order. However, that is not necessitated.
Officially,
Officially fails.
officially fails with the 5 yeses, 6 no's, and 1 abstention. Sky?
Yes, so Emma, Maria, Matt, Steffi, Susanna, and Irvi, how could we make this work? This is the second motion failed. I'd be happy to make it work.
Matt and then Emma?
I'd like to meet during this time.
I would also like to just invite them to our meeting. I think that's the best way to get all our voices. And it's important to me.
I have to agree too, because just to consider just me speaking in my point of view, I have a very heavy packed schedule and I like to be involved as much as possible. So even if we have to extend those meetings by 15 minutes, which we have done in the past and we have done motions in the past, or we could even continue the discussion in those next meeting, but that's just my personal opinion.
Okay.
I would like to encourage any of the counselors who voted no then to put forward a motion for what would work for them.
Matt?
I'll make a motion to invite KPMG. Yeah. For November 30th meeting. Wait, is that when Dr. Oh, Am I? I'm looking too far ahead then.
We can give a point of clarification on our next few meetings if you'd like.
Sure.
Okay, yes, so our next meeting is, we already have a 35-minute presentation scheduled that I believe Armando has put on the agenda. Our 10:30 meeting will likely be canceled because we do have a pre-scheduled dinner with the president, though we haven't voted to cancel it yet. And then our 11:09 meeting currently has nothing on the agenda yet. That's 11:06.
Matt?
I also kind of want some clarification because it looks like this discussion about this focus group of KPMG and the fraternity and sorority life banner proposal that is that 35-minute presentation, or well, this KPMG discussion is scheduled for the 23rd, 30th, and the 9th. And the fraternity and sorority one is on our request form for the 23rd and the 30th. So I'm not sure what that means.
I want to clarify the agenda request form is not official. It's just people type things in. So this is what we have so far right now. I think your document may be slightly outdated for the last couple minutes where those copy edits were made. But currently on the agenda request form, 10:23:25 is a 35-minute proposal. 10:30 is no meeting, likely if we do not vote to approve it. And then 11:06 has nothing on the agenda yet. I guess we've talked a lot about this. I would hope we could have this happen on 11:06 during our meeting time. It sounds like that's the consensus of the council, but I invite someone who voted no to propose that motion.
Emma?
I would like to propose a motion to add this to our meeting on 11:06.
Do we have a seconded?
I second that.
Okay. Or do you have point of order?
I would encourage the author of the motion to include a time limit on their presentation.
30 minutes.
Wait, on KPMG's presentation?
Yes.
Okay. Sky?
Yes, so I would also encourage the people making this motion to include not only a time limit, but a time frame. I would ask that you propose after our public comment starts. So those after our public comment ends. So there's 30 minutes after that. So that public comment could happen before. And I know we've pushed it back to the middle of the meeting multiple times. And I know some students were disappointed with that. But I would hope we could put a specific time on the meeting so we can let them know what time to jump in, not just a time limit. But
After public comment is fine. However, I would also like to just consider that we're asking somebody to come here. I know they'll try and work with our schedule, but tell them that we have a 2-hour meeting and ask them to show up during that time.
I feel like we could also approve that on the agenda on the day before that, but yes. Yes. So I feel like that's something that we can arrange during that time, especially since if it's on the 6th of November, we got plenty of time. So we had a second. Right now we're in discussion. Is there anything towards discussion you want to add? Sky?
just that I think we should communicate to them that 30 minutes would include questions.
Okay.
I was just going to ask the author of the motion to restate it for the council before we vote.
I put forward a motion to have this group, KPMG, to attend our meeting on 11/6 for a 30-minute time slot.
Seconded. Commence a vote. So we're gonna do by roll call again. Okay. Are we ready?
We are.
All right, Cyrus Holt.
Aye.
Emma Fox.
Aye.
Faye Berry.
Abstain.
Maria Garcia.
Aye.
Matthew Rathbun.
Aye.
Patrick Cervera. Aye. Rowan East.
No.
Sky Say Childress.
No.
Steffi Calero.
Yes.
Susana Villa Gomez.
Aye.
Irvi Paul.
With clarification, when was the date again?
For the 6th of November, this is just our 3 weeks from now meeting.
Aye.
William Coates?
Aye.
Okay. Matt?
9 in favor, 2
All
noes.
right, so we have 9 in favor, 2 noes, 1 abstention. Motion passes. Yay. Okay. Matt?
As a point of clarification, I'm not sure why the meeting for 10:30 currently says NA and no meeting. Since, did we vote on that though?
I have a point of clarification.
Did we?
If I,
The point of clarification is that the agenda request form is not an official document and does not represent the position of TSAC. It is also an internal document. Well, just a point of clarification, it does not need to be on the screen right now, which is not a problem that it's there, but we don't necessarily need to debate or discuss amending this document.
just also, I think it's just, the document right now is due to like, we have our lunch with Dr. Davidson scheduled for that day already. So right now, we have through our teams to discuss or to vote if we want to cancel our meeting, also the location of this dinner. That's entirely up to us. I think that's what's on that agenda request is just presumably and just anticipated. Matt? In direct response?
It just currently looks like it's intended not to happen, considering it doesn't even say it's open. And I get that it's not an official document, but that is how we plan our meetings. And also I find it weird that a lot of that's been edited because I've had to refresh my page like 5 times the last like 10 minutes to keep up with the edits that have happened on this. Because what I was reading off of Maria's was live. It was on the screen that I pulled up like 10 minutes ago and it was already changing in between.
Quick response?
Yes, I can clarify this. I also pulled the document up live, noticed there were errors on it, and fixed those errors right before your eyes so that we could have clarification on what our next few meetings were likely to have on them so that we could make a decision. The council at any moment can vote to do whatever they would like to. Also, anything on the agenda request form can be removed by the council as well. It's not an official document. Anyway, but separately from this, I want to put forward a motion on this exact topic that we do not have a meeting on October 30th, given that we have a pre-planned meeting.
Second.
Open for discussion. Ty?
So will we choose the place where we'll be eating?
Correct.
I know you mentioned that earlier.
Stephen, if you could please clarify.
Yes, we are going to do a vote. We're just going to do a simple vote. We're not going to do a ranked choice vote as per the co-chair's request last night. But we are just going to do a simple vote. So consider the options there, most likely Tamayo, Asterio Marco, and I think there's one more place there. So we'll list those for you. We have to put in some reservations because this is a large group, plus President Davidson, plus myself. So I want to make sure that we get this moving.
Scott?
Yeah, I just want to clarify the motion that I just made. Motion to cancel our 10:30 meeting, our October 30th meeting.
I'm gonna move forward, commence a vote.
Unanimous consent.
Looks like everyone's feeling pretty good about it. I'm just trying to give everyone a chance. It's a lot of hands to look out for. All right. Any opposition? It's abstentions. Okay, motion passes. Our 10:30 meeting has been officially canceled. Sorry, but okay. Is there any other promising? We have a motion. Looking at just no new other business that we added.
I think we can move on to the next piece of business.
Okay. Moving forward, next piece of business with the issue of JSSB law. This was something, say it's Sky's discussion here. And I'll also be looking forward to Stephen to also provide more context with this. Hand it over to Sky.
Absolutely. So I'm the one that I motioned to add this to the agenda and that was approved. I would love to see us chat really quickly about the impacts that the student organizations may be facing. Just a little bit of background is that the JSSB lawn just outside this building is the only green space that MSU Denver departments and organizations have access to for free. As opposed to like the Quad or the 9th Street lawn that are property of AHEC and you have to pay some sort of rental fee for. I was told yesterday that they have closed that as of last week to reservations for planting grass there or revitalizing the grass. And that would likely be in effect until late April. But I would implore Stephen to also give us anything about it and chat.
May I speak? Okay. I thought this would be important for TSAC to know, given your mission statement is to support the evolving needs of the MSU Denver students community by advocating the best interests of what they need. What was shared with me is that the university views the JSSB lawn as a central gathering place, but should also reflect the character and pride of the institution. It serves as both a physical and symbolic welcome mat, offering a sense of arrival, belonging, and connection for everyone that comes to campus. However, they have seen, due to the usage, that the lawn has been significantly affected and minimally maintained. So if you look on the lawn, you will see certain sections of dirt patches, and that's due to tent structures, events, that sort of thing. So they had some proposed solutions. What they were going to do is reseed the lawn this month and close off the lawn entirely for an extended period of time. What my concern is, and why I wanted you all to know this, is unless I wasn't here, and which I'm pretty sure I've been at every meeting with you all, I haven't seen anyone get some student feedback for this. And I think for you all as student government, that's kind of problematic because, as Sky said, they are shutting down a green space that is free for students. So now their only options, if they want a larger green space, is to rent 9th Street Park, the Tivoli Quad, or the lawn in front of St. Cajetan's over by the library, all of which costs money. Yes, there's student organization money to pay for that, but that then is going to impact student organization events. I don't have any detail about how many student organizations this will impact. I think generally speaking that it's important for you all to know this and maybe have a conversation. I offered a couple solutions with student organizations in mind. And by the way, what they have already decided and communicated to university folk, meaning staff members, departments, and offices, and I guess they've expected us to communicate to student organizations, is that they're going to close off the lawn starting yesterday or the week prior, all the way until August 28th. Now, you're probably thinking that's a very specific date. Why that date? I asked for them to consider that, to keep it open through April, especially the end of April, given CMEI's new end-of-year concert, Roadrunners After Dark, RAD, and given that we had 1,000 students attend that last year, that's a major event that happens on the lawn, and the weather starts getting better. Solutions I provide them, I ask them to consider. If they close the lawn now through April, only close off the sections that need seating. So that way events and functions could still happen. If they're closing the lawn down to April, maybe the university subsidize the cost of spaces for student organizations if they wanted to have something on a green space. Another thought is maybe as needed, close down the top floor of a parking garage. So that way there is an outdoor space that they can use for an event or function. If that's not the case, create an additional fund that student organizations can request from to pay for what it costs to rent the Tivoli Quad, to rent 9th Street Park or anything. So those are some of my thoughts. I tried to come up with solutions that I think would be in the best interest. I also said, well, keep it open, reseed it, and then block the lawn off after major events so that way the lawn can have time to recover versus shutting it down for a certain period of time. Now, they have made their decision. This is something I'm bringing to you so you all can discuss, potentially determine strategy, invite facilities to a meeting, however you all want to do with that. I yield.
Okay.
Have they started the reseeding process then, or was this interrupted by concerns being brought forward?
No, they have started the process. So the message I received, which is on a group Teams chat through the Event Coalition, this was sent last Friday at 3:15 p.m. Happy Friday, all. Per a facilities team request, we have officially closed off reservations for the JSSB lawn for the below dates due to a reseeding project that they'll be overseeing. Keep in mind for any lawn of needs over the next few months. So they have closed it down from October 10th through October 10th through December 31st, and then March 15th through April 28th. So yes, there is a period of time in January, February, and March where the lawn is open. It's a little cold out. Don't know how many events are going to be happening during that time. I appreciate that they're closing. Oh, my laptop died. I appreciate that they're closing it down during a period where students aren't here. So that's good. But again, it makes sense to reseed now because you still have some good fall weather. You're now getting moisture. Yeah.
I guess one of my concerns would also be with the success of Welcome Month and Roadrunners After Dark, which has put a lot more potential wear and tear on this lawn. What is going to stop this from happening again and disrupting these potential great services that we've been trying to promote as a university, not even just TSAC, but university? So yeah, I would definitely be interested in the plan on how to fix it.
Okay, and I do want to keep y'all in check. We do have 2 minutes left for the meeting.
I guess the thing that I was just thinking about was like there was a mention of like not maintained at all, and it's like, is it worthwhile to bring facilities in to be like, hey, like tell us about why this wasn't maintained and why now we're shutting it down?
I want to say that our green spaces need to be green, so I understand why they need to reseed, but I do think that there are ways to do that in which the student impact could be mitigated. I think something we could ask Stephen to do is to reach out to facilities and see if they would be open to some sort of conversation regarding this.
Faye, Rowan, and Emma.
I motion to extend the meeting by 5 minutes to allow for discussion.
We have a second.
Second.
Okay. Any opposition?
Aye.
Aye.
Is that opposition or is that?
Opposition. Opposition.
Opposed.
Opposed. All those opposed?
Can you do a recorded vote?
Okay, yeah. You know what, Scott, Cy, I'm gonna switch it up. William Coates. For votes. I shall commence the voting right now.
Nay.
You. Okay. Irby Paul,
No.
Susana Villagomez,
Nay.
Steffi Calero,
Nay.
Sky C. Childress,
No.
Rowan East,
To clarify, we're voting to whether or not. Yes.
Yes. I vote Patrick Rail. Yes. Matthew Rathbun,
No.
Maria Garcia,
Yes.
Faye Berry,
Yes.
Emma Fox,
No.
Cyrus Holt,
Yes.
5-7 fail. I motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. Motion fails. 5-7.
Ask if there's any opposition to the motion to adjourn, please.
Wait, just wait, brother. Is there any opposition to the motion to adjourn? Okay. Any abstentions? Okay, motion passes. Meeting is adjourned.